good look, but you know what? It doesn't always stay that way, especially this time of year, Colleen.
Yeah, it's beautiful, calm, tranquil right now, right? And then we get into the afternoon, and yeah, you're right, Frank. Just we get into the peak heating hours, and it just starts to boil up. We have the storms. Yeah, things change very quickly. So we have another weather impact alert for today. Just like yesterday, it's the same window of time. We issue this as your 10 Tampa Bay meteorologist for you to kind of give you a heads up. One, for inconvenience. How is this impacting your day? That's why we have the impact alert starting at 2 p.m. And two, for the threat of severe weather. So there's a couple reasons why we issue the weather impact alert: for inconvenience and also to give you a heads up when we have stronger storms in the forecast. So we had the same thing yesterday, we have one today, and we have one for tomorrow, although there is a pattern change on the way. So tomorrow the severe threat will be a little bit lower, but again, the main impact here would be the hail and the damaging winds. And yes, those winds can rotate. Winds can be damaging whether they're straight line winds or you get a spin up. By the way, for the questions about the tornado, right now they are surveying that area over in Largo and the National Weather Service, and they are going to let us know. They're going to give a report. What they do is they go out there, they take pictures, they look at the damage. Of course, they have video already, and then they bring everything back to the office, and then they give us a report on the peak wind speeds and a rating. So EF1, EF0. All right, so when is weather impact alert? Getting back to this, today and tomorrow. We had one yesterday too, from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. Now, that doesn't mean that the severe weather is going to start on at 2 o'clock. We are just giving that to you to kind of give you a heads up to plan out the rest of your day, right? So starting at 2 p.m., that's when you should get your plans in place to have a backup plan if severe weather does threaten your area. The impact, we just went over that, and the need, make sure you stream on 10 Tampa Bay Plus, easy peasy. All right, so the severe weather outlook, again, we had the same thing yesterday. This was issued by the Storm Prediction Center. That marginal risk, which is the lowest risk for severe weather, but again, some of those storms can pack a punch. We have the overall threat that's low, around 2% for the viewing area, but the main threat out of that would be the wind. The hail is still there as a threat. It's just a little bit lower than what it was yesterday. What's happening here is we have that upper level low, right? So higher aloft. We have cooler air that's out there and a little bit of drier air too. And that's basically why we had that higher threat for hail yesterday. Still have the cooler and drier air aloft, but it's not quite as much or plentiful. For today, your planner, again, mainly from the hours of 2 to 9, that's when we have that weather impact alert, but the storm's holding off until the late afternoon, the evening hours. Here we are at 3 p.m., and you can see them starting up across our interior locations first, and then making their way over to the Gulf Coast. Now, what you have to pay attention to would be those sea breezes. So dominant southeast wind, right? But then we have these little sea breezes that spring up across our coast, right? And that's where it has some trouble. That's where we start to get those winds that are gusty. Plus, if you have any storm that collapses and we get that outflow, sometimes we can get bigger storms to kind of spring up from that. So we're all talking updrafts, downdrafts, so you can really get into the weeds there. But again, the threat will end around 10 o'clock, and for the rest of the night, we're nice and quiet, and then we do it all over again for tomorrow. Satellite radar right now, there's a lot of moisture down across the southeast. Right now, Tampa Bay, fairly quiet. As we take a zoom in here, we just have a couple clouds, perhaps a few showers over in Polk County, maybe a brief downpour. And this is looking forward into tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have a little bit of rain starting off around the coast. And again, a little bit of a pattern change where that southwesterly wind will become more dominant, and that will push some rain over to the other coast. So again, it's all about timing, making sure you have those alerts ready on your phone. You can also sign up for alerts, usually for your county as well. Very important. And of course, download the 10 Tampa Bay app, absolutely free for all platforms. 90-degree temperatures stick around for the rest of the week. Again, we have better rain coverage this weekend, but a lower threat for severe weather.